Should I introduce myself?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Vicki Sugar, Maria's mom, and I know a little bit about direct sales. I started in direct sales in May of 1979, if you can believe it. And I started I was in Longaberger Baskets. I went to my first show and I sponsored one person. And from that one person, I grew an organization to almost 3,700 people. So I just wanted to let you know that, so you know there is some validity to what I'm going to tell you. First of all, I'd like to tell you about goal setting, because goal setting is so important in direct sales or in any business or in life. But when it was like in the early 80s, I read a book called When Good Isn't Good Enough. And in that book, there was a section on goal setting. And they told you how to do it and step by step, which I did. They said to set 10 goals, and they said the sky's the limit, just really think about what you would like. And so I remember when it got to how much I would like to earn each month, I thought, well, they said the sky's the limit. So I figured it out, and I thought if I could earn $7,000 a month, that would just be great. But I thought, I was really looking outside the box. And so just like I would do, you were supposed to get this goal sheet and put it up on near your desk and look at it every day, or up on the refrigerator. But I folded it up, stuck it back in the book, and put the book on the shelf, and that was it. Until it was time when I was moving my office. It was probably about 7 years later. And I was moving, and I moved that book, and out came my goal sheet. And I vaguely remembered it, and I started to unfold it, and I looked at that sheet, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, is this true? I remembered that it said, think outside the box and the sky's the limit, but I looked at the amount I had put that I wanted to earn each month. And at that point, I was earning probably about 8 times that amount. And I remember when they said, when you write down your goals, there's a saying that you may have heard called think it and ink it. Because when you write it, your brain is working towards those goals when you don't even know it, even when you're asleep. Because I looked at the rest of those 9 goals, and I had reached every one of them except one. And now, this many years later, I have reached that one, which was exercising in a regular exercise program, which I do now, and I have done for about 8 years. But at that point, I was like, that was the one that I needed to do, and I finally did it. But I'll tell you the story about when I first became a sales director with Longaberger. I never really thought, I wasn't a numbers person, so I never really thought about how much I would be earning from moving from one level to the next. But sales director was the top level, and I knew there would be a big increase in my monthly income, but I never thought about it, and I never calculated it. So the month after I became a sales director, they sent me a printout, and I opened it up, and I looked at it, and I thought, oh, this must be what I earned for the year or something. It wasn't computing. And then I realized that it was actually what I was earning for the month. And when I saw that figure, I ran upstairs to my phone in my bedroom, because I was in my office in my lower level, and I had staff that was down there. But I ran up and I got on the phone, and I literally whispered to my mom, and I said, Mom, my check this month is more than the cost of our second home. And she goes, Vicki, is that legal? That was her first thought. And I was like, it is. I can't believe it, because it had doubled. It had been around $25,000 a month, which I know was good. And I was like thrilled. Well, it had jumped to $52,000. And that was for the month. So I was like, oh, I really believe in direct sales. So I wanted to tell you, though, it doesn't happen overnight, and it takes a lot of persistence with direct sales. And that is, I want to tell you my tortoise and the hare story, because when I first went to that show I told you about, the person that was doing the demonstration, the consultant, did such a great job, and she was packing up her kit, and I heard her say to her, almost mumble to herself, I'm making so much money, but or she said, I'm so busy, and my sister is laughing at me for peddling baskets, and she said, but I'm laughing all the way to the bank. And when she said that, I was like, hey, I think I could do this. I was teaching at the time, and I sort of wanted to get out of teaching. So she did such a fantastic job with her presentation, though I thought I could never be like Kathy. She had a beautiful display, and I just wanted to be like her because she was just having so many shows and doing such a great job. But I decided to sell, and at the same time I signed up, there was another person named Peggy, and Peggy was just so good at being organized, and like I said, I'm not a numbers person. She had everything down. I went to her office and she had everything in place, and I thought, oh, if only I could be like Peggy. I would be so organized and I'd be so much more successful. And then there was another team that started at the same time, mother-daughter team. It was Mary and Lynn. And Mary and Lynn had lived in the area their whole life, and they knew all these people, and they were having all these shows, one booking after another, because they knew so many people. I thought, if I had lived here all my life, I'd know more people, I'd have more bookings. I wish I could be like Lynn and Mary. Well, fast forward about a year and a half, and Kathy called me one day, and she said, Vicki, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit Longaberger. I said, you're going to quit? Oh my gosh, you're doing so great. I can't believe you're quitting. You do such a great job with your presentation. Everyone loves you. And she said, no, everyone loves my display, so I'm going to open my own little shop. So she did, and that didn't last too long. And so then about 6 months later, I get a call from Peggy. And Peggy's like, Vicki, I just wanted to tell you I'm going to quit. And I was like, you're going to quit? You're so organized, and oh, I would love to be organized like you and have a business like you. And she said, no, all this changing with Longaberger makes me so nervous, because she was so organized that she wasn't flexible. And with a new company, you have to realize things change. And so you have to sort of roll with that. But she quit and I think started her own accounting business or something. And so then about a year and a half after that, there was a price increase, our very first price increase. And so I was with Lynn and Mary, and they said, Vicki, we're going to quit. And I said, you're quitting with all you're doing? I can't believe that. I said, you know, why? And they said, with this price increase, nobody's going to want to buy these products. And I said, well, I don't know if they're going to, but let's just have our first show, see if anybody buys, and then if you want to quit, you can. And they're like, nope, we're not going to do that. We're just going to quit. So I was like, okay. So here I am plugging along all these years. And then I realized that I had one quality that they didn't have, and that was persistence. And that one quality is what you need more than anything with direct sales. So that's why I call it my tortoise and the hare story, because slow but steady wins the race.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.